Timeout, overtime, hot take, debate, penalty by so many options. We on the way, unapologetic opinions, guests checking in, so I share on my social. Merch going up, my brother, he going global. Ass hold it down for the ladies, they need their own show. But we right back with it. Timeout with Coach Cam, we shouldn't miss a minute. Yup. But we right back with it. Timeout with Coach Cam, we shouldn't miss a minute. Yup.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to a fresh episode of Time Out with Coach Cam. It's your boy Cam Chancellor, and I am excited to be back. I know it's been a long hiatus, it's been about a month, but you know what? Had to take care of my coaching business. That's why they call me Coach Cam. But I am back, and we back, and I'm excited because it's NBA playoff time. A lot has happened. A lot has happened, and I don't normally I bring people on related, to Bearcats or beat writers and different things like that. But what I want to do over the next month or so is bring in the fellas, the guys who I chat sports with every day to chat it up with us. So I'm gonna bring on my guys, my guy B, my guy Coach Kurt. What's going on? What's going on, B? Hey man, can't call it, can't call it. Coach Kurt, what's going on?
Not much, man. Getting ready for these playoffs tonight.
All right, hey. So it looks like the Sixers is going right now. Sixers and Hawks. Looks like the Sixers are up 23-14. Looks like Joel Embiid is starting to dominate right off the bat. Um, now, what we want to talk about, it's all NBA show. It's the NBA playoff time, so that's what we're here to talk about. We first are going to discuss the offseason and was it too long of a layoff or too short of a layoff, excuse me, for the NBA players because a lot of injuries going on, and LeBron made that statement today. We're going to also discuss KD's performance last night and what that means moving forward for the Brooklyn Nets. We also want to talk about, Kawhi's injury. There was a couple coach firings today. So a lot of things happen where you was just like, okay, a lot of things going to happen in this one day for the NBA. But I do want to talk about LeBron's statement today. LeBron came out and basically said, I told the league this will happen. You're going to get injuries. You're going to be hurt. And it's gonna hurt because we got key players in the playoff not playing. So I'm gonna go with Coach Kurt. It looks like my boy B having a little technical difficulties. I think we'll get him back though. Coach Kurt, I want
Yes,
to talk
sir.
to you about this about LeBron James' statement. Do you agree with him that they came back a little bit too soon? Because we're seeing injuries left and right. And what's up, man?
I don't usually agree with him, but here I agree with him. I don't like the timing of his statement. I think he's trying to take attention away from the playoffs that are going on and all the cats that's out there working hard. But I agree with his statement. The short off season, these players they're humans. They have families. They needed to spend time with their families. They took some time off and they get time to recover, then train. So I truly believe this shortened off season was one of the key factors in all these injuries.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, normally, me and Coach Kurt don't agree normally, but I definitely agree with that. But just simply because there's too many injuries going on, and it was too many injuries throughout the season. I know Jimmy Butler missed a whole bunch of time. Just players that normally when you wouldn't see miss time. And that's different. What you think, B? I think we got him back. Looks like we have a little bit of technical difficulties with B. But just to touch on that, Coach Kurt, what you said about uh, the timing of it. Now, would he have been saying this if he was still in the playoffs?
No, he would not be saying this if he
Man,
was still in the playoffs. And I think it has a lot to
Love
do with
LeBron.
the performance of
I love
KD last
LeBron.
night to keep himself
That
relevant.
guy.
I know B trying to say something, but we can't hear you. We can't hear you. And I want to hear from him too because he's a LeBron guy.
Trying to guard KD the rest of the playoffs.
Yo, we lost B. We can't get him. We can't get him. But no, I just feel like if he was in the playoffs, the statement would have been made. And for me, it's just like let these young bulls have it. They going out there. They going hard. Uh, we seeing people step up like Devin Booker. This is his first chance and the opportunity to be on the big stage like this, performing well, outstanding, showing that he could be that superstar player. In the next wave of players to come. Donovan Mitchell, what he's doing. Just Trey Young, leading the Young Hawks team. So it's for me, like I said, the timing was bad of it. Do I agree? Yeah, I agree. But I just think the timing was bad because I think if he was in the playoffs, it wouldn't matter. B, do we got you?
And then also some of these injuries, oh, we got him.
Nah, we don't have him. Go ahead, Coach Kurt.
And some of these injuries aren't direct directly affected by the shortened off season. LeBron got his ankle ran into. Kyrie
Yeah,
stepped on someone's ankle. These are things that can happen with the long off season as well. So I
right.
agree, but to a certain extent, play through it. Injuries happen. With all these super teams and all this depth, come on. I don't want to hear no excuses.
Right. No, no, no. And I totally agree with you on that. On that. So I think we agree. Now, have this changed your opinion on the playoffs? Like whoever like gets this ring, will it be like kind of like, it's a short off season. Everybody was hurt. It don't matter. Have that changed your opinion on the playoffs?
No, playoffs is the best time of the year for basketball. I would say March Madness is a little more exciting, but the NBA playoffs is right up there. So I love this time of year. People are playing hard, like you said. Devin Booker showing now. We finally get to see Trey Young. They've had what 5 televised games since he's been in the NBA. So now we get to see him every other night. So I'm enjoying the great basketball. I don't. Again, at the beginning of the year, if you would have told me who was winning the championship, it was either Brooklyn, the Clippers, or the Lakers. Two of
Yep.
the three are still playing. So hasn't really changed my opinion at all.
Yep. And I agree. Like I said, for me, I enjoy the fresh faces. I enjoy seeing new teams. That's how the league grows, man. Young stars come to these teams,
Hmm.
and they level them up, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about for me. And so for me, like I enjoy seeing the Hawks in the second round. I enjoy, seeing the Suns go to the Western Conference Finals. I enjoy that. Like, and to be quite honest, I hope I hope Utah wins. I hope Utah wins their series. I want to see Donovan Mitchell. I really want to see him and Booker battle it out. Them two young guards that's gonna be the next two shooting guards into the future. Once James Harden leave, well, he now a point,
Hmm.
but those are the two guards. Moving forward that you look to carry the torch. So um, I'm definitely excited about that. Let's see, do we got band
Uh,
here? Do we got
the
B?
one, oh,
Let's see. Looks like we still don't have him. Go ahead, Coach Kurt.
and then the one thing I wanted to kind of mention, not to come off as a hater or anything, but Steph and LeBron have been in the finals the last 10 years. One of them has been represented. We kind
Yep.
of getting fatigued. Let's see some new, fresh faces, like you were saying. Um, you respect LeBron. It's one of the greatest. Steph's one of the greatest. But can we get somebody new?
Yep. Nah,
Can the
and
NBA survive without those two? And it's being proven. Ratings are sky high.
yep, yep, the ratings are still sky high. So ain't nothing changing. Ain't nothing changing with the NBA. The NBA will always move forward. They will always have superstars. And so you know, it doesn't change my opinion of the playoffs. I'm still excited about it, and it's gonna be interesting to see who can win that title. Even though I still feel like Brooklyn has the advantage, especially if they can get past this series while they're beat up. I think they really have the chance to get there. Uh, Now, to the next topic. The Nets last night go up 3-2. Huge performance by KD, 49-point triple double. Uh, what does that mean for the Milwaukee Bucks? Do you think the Milwaukee Bucks are done?
Milwaukee Bucks are done for the simple fact 2 years ago they should have fired their coach.
Thank you. I
Last
agree with
night
that.
was last night was more evidence that their coach should have been fired. I get that. What 4 minutes left in the game? Giannis had 4 fouls. He's first team
Yep.
all defense. Chris Middleton can't defend me. Okay, PJ touched too short. Giannis should have been on KD.
He
I do
he
want to
said he
give a
wanted
shout out
game
to
six. He said he
James
gonna set
Harden
the
for one
challenge.
playing. That's fine. What about Game Five? I want to give props to James Harden for going out there with a hamstring.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing to play through.
Hmm.
Jeff Green coming straight off the broke foot, dropping 27,
Yeah.
and then some who had someone had 17.
Shamit, was it Shamit?
Was
Landry
it
Shamit?
I believe so. Someone had Shem had 17. It was they helped KD, but KD, I was the biggest KD fan in high school.
Yeah.
Since coming to the league, he's kind of been, I haven't really liked him. And then most recently with this move to the Nets, I've really disliked him. But I have to show respect. What he did last night was incredible. He played every minute, 49 points. I've been on record. You can check my Facebook or whatever. KD can't play, mate. KD said,
Yep.
"Shut up, Coach Kurt. I had 10 assists last night. Set my
Yep.
teammates up." And he's a 7 foot shooting guard, so he can get his shot off at any time.
Yep. Sure can. And I mean, he's just one of the the one of the greatest shooters, greatest scorers to ever play. And but like he said in his interview, he showed that he could do more. And I've always said like KD could do more. He's just not asked to. He's not put in position to. It's like people say Jordan couldn't pass. Yes, he could, but that wasn't his job to. His job was to score the buckets.
Mm-hmm.
Pippen do the to get the assist. Pippen play the best offensive player if need be. You get the buckets. That don't mean they can't do it. They just was blessed on a team that they don't have to do everything. But Kevin Durant showed last night that he can do everything. Um, for you, do you think does a performance like that make you feel like Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA right now?
If not the best, easily top three. I still want to see it on the defensive end. I don't really give him credit for defending Chris Middleton because I don't believe he's a max player. But Kevin Durant, again, I tip my hat off to him. I can't say anything bad about his performance last night. It was brilliant. It reminded
Man,
me
I'm
of some of the
I'm
greats, the
not gonna let
Kobe's,
you get off with that, Kurt.
the Mike
I'm
Jordans.
not letting you get off with this. I'm not letting you get off with this, Kurt. This all this modest talk. Is Kevin Durant the best player in the NBA right now? That's what I asked. Does a performance like that make him the best player in the NBA? That's what I want to know. I'm not letting you off the hook like that.
If he consistently performed like that, he would, but not. So he is not the best player in the NBA.
And if he is not the best, who would you say is the best player in the NBA right now?
Uh, I don't know. It's a toss up between. I still like Greek. Um, still believe
Rico.
Steph if he ever sh- if Steph ever shot it inside the 3 point line. I'm gonna say a name that no one mentions, even though they had the best record in the NBA. Donovan Mitchell. I mean, a 6'2" shooting guard doing everything for his basketball team, offense and defensively. Um, and then, as much as I want to not say his name, LeBron had 20, 25, 7, and 8 or something. Prior to the ankle, LeBron was the MVP of the NBA.
Hey,
So,
I give you that. I give you that. I give you. I'm disappointed you didn't include Luka Doncic in your list of top NBA players. I'm disappointed a little bit.
um, Luka Doncic, aka the Euro James Harden. I'm sorry, I can't include him.
How
Um,
can't you? He don't
KP
have.
came out and said KP came out and said what I've been saying for years. Luka just has the ball so much, so his stats are going to look incredible.
I mean, his
He shoots
usage rate
what
is high.
75% or below from the he shoots 75% or below from the free throw line. It's under 35% from three. So he just has the ball a lot. I give him that. He's creative, but I want to say it was game 5 maybe of the series where Tim Hardaway Jr. went off and um, Wright, I think his name is Wright, the center, he went off. Why? Because they were able to touch the ball. Ball up.
Yeah, I,
It's
I
okay to give
mean,
the ball up. I know, but you have not got out the first round in the playoffs. How are you in the best players in the NBA?
now we can say now you KP came out and said what he said. However, or rumor said he said he ain't happy. You know how they use him or whatnot. But that's on him. Like on switches, he can't even post up Terrence Mann or Patrick Beverly. Like so, would why would Luca pass it to him in that situation? It's not a bucket. He trusted Tim Hardaway more than he trusted Porzingis, and that was the issue I think with Porzingis is that Luca just trusted Tim Hardaway Jr. a little bit more. Now, and I'm not the biggest Tim Hardaway Jr. fan, but he showed me that he will take big shots at big moments, and will hit some. You got to live with his moments where he's streaky. That's what it is. He's streaky. That's the word I'm trying to find. Tim Hardaway Jr. is very streaky. He can catch fire, give you 30, and then he can go cold and give you 8. Um, I think another playmaker is needed. Not necessarily big man, but we need somebody that can get a bucket. We need somebody that can go get a bucket. I don't know who that may be, but somehow, some way, we got to make that happen in the off season. Let's see here, and I agree with
Dallas
this.
needs a point guard.
Yeah,
They need a point guard.
Luca could be the
They need a
point.
point guard. Simply put, he can't be the point because we it's been proven he's not going to get out the first round of playoffs. He can have 49, 15 assists, 15 rebounds. Well, they're just going to say he has no help, but he doesn't use his help. It
I
it
mean,
looks like James Harden in Houston prior to getting Westbrook and Chris Paul. Whole bunch of great stats. That doesn't win in the postseason.
I get that, but he did all he could do, and his defense wasn't even horrible this season. Like, he did all he could do. I don't.
Does he play basketball or football? Because his defense looked like a free safety in football. He just stood there in the middle of the field.
I mean, I thought he played a little bit better defense this year. I'm not saying he was great.
Well, yeah, I believe Dallas. They like you said, they are one piece away. I would. It should be a point guard to make set him up as well to get easier shots.
Uh, we got someone says Dame should go to the Mavs. I've been saying
Well,
that.
we need someone who won't play, who can distribute the ball. Dame's not going to distribute the ball. He's just going to shoot from Houston, Texas, for the Dallas Mavericks.
Hey, but that's a 30 ball. We need somebody else that's gonna score. Sure.
But you
We
need
need
someone who's
somebody.
going to score at all three levels. Old Dame Lillard, who scored at all three levels, would be great. This
He
new
still do.
shoot from 40 feet, no, no.
Come on, man. He still shoots 40 foot, but Dame will give you some buckets, mid range, and take you to the rack. Dame, man, you can't don't do this to Dame, man. Now,
The same Dame that got swept a few years ago by Drew Holiday, that Dame, the
hey,
same Dame who
so we
tries to
not
go
gonna
back
say
and
Anthony
forth,
Davis too. We gonna say Drew Holiday.
the same Dame who gets swept by the Warriors every year, except this year.
Oh gosh, here we go. Here we go. That's the Warriors in the prime. Who
And
wasn't
I
getting
like
bought
that
by
move.
them?
I like that move. I'm not a Brad Beal fan, but Brad Beal will look
Yes,
excellent
that
in
would
Dallas.
be a perfect fit. That would be a
Yeah,
perfect fit for my Mavs. That's wishful thinking. I think they're gonna keep Westbrook and Bill together with a new coach coming in. It just makes sense, especially since they start playing together better, and they went up to the and got into the playoffs actually as the 8 seed. Dame to the Knicks. That's possible. They got a lot of pieces and assets to move. Um, that's definitely possible. I hope that don't happen. Like I said, I
I,
hope he comes to my man's.
the whole Knicks team is on 1 year deals except
Yeah.
Randall and their rookies. So I don't know what they can give up. They played too well
Oh,
this
look.
year for their first round picks to actually mean something.
Mm, that's
But they had
Tibbs
a
though
cap.
for you. You
Knicks
know
had a cap.
you know how Tibbs is. They gonna always be
Hmm.
competitive.
Yeah.
So they shocked everybody by being that AC though. But moving on there, uh, Scott Brooks got fired today. Stan Van Gundy got fired today. I don't know what it was about. But people's getting fired left and right. How do you feel about these firings? Should it have happened? Was this Stan Van Gundy? Or I'm gonna start with this. Do you feel the Stan Van Gundy firing was premature?
No. And I love Stan Van Gundy as a coach. Um, he's not right for that team. He's an old school coach. He's gonna push you. That's not what those kids needed. Um, I'm a Lakers fan. I love Bi. I love Lonzo. I love Hart. All three of them are playing for contracts. Zion is playing to be discussed with the names of Jason Tatum, Devin Booker's, and Donovan Mitchell. So they're all
Yeah.
playing for selfish reasons. You need a coach to manage egos. Dwight Howard told us Stan Van Gundy cannot manage egos. He told us this back in Orlando.
Yeah.
So they would need a Chauncey Billups would work for them. He's on the younger side. He's a point guard. He's a proven leader. That would be a good name for them. But Stan Van Gundy should definitely get another NBA job. But with that young team, no, that that was a fail from the beginning.
Yeah. I feel bad for Stan Van Gundy because, like you said, I feel he's a good coach. Um, I think he got dealt a bad hand there. With that team, just because, like you said, it just didn't fit. It wasn't a good fit at all. But you know me about the Pelicans. I always feel like that team is not built to win. Like that team is built terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and I'm critical of him. Most people get on me about it, but Zion Williamson to me, I don't feel like can be a number one option and lead your team to the playoffs or at least deep into it. You can't build around someone that you have to run through a guy you have to run the offense around under the free throw line. Like they're running pick and rolls under the free throw line. Like this is something I've never seen. Like it don't make any sense.
Well, one of the issues is you have Eric Bledsoe, who held Milwaukee back for years. He previously held the Clippers back. You have Lonzo again playing for a contract, so he's this year he improved his free throw shooting, 3-point shooting, but I feel like he's not a playmaker.
Hmm.
Then you got Brandon Ingram, who all of a sudden he forgot how to pass. He's 100% ISO now. Then then you have Zion, who you want to play around the rim, but then you give him Steven Adams. I I don't understand. Like I didn't know if you're gonna play with Zion, you have Jackson Hayes sitting right there. You have Jackson Hayes at the top of the key setting picks for Lonzo. He can pick and roll all day. Zion can play off that. But Steven Adams, that statue, he doesn't work for that particular team.
Yep, yep. I agree with that. They're built crazy. I don't know what they're doing with that roster, but like I said, they need to build it almost like Giannis in a sense, a bunch of shooters.
Hmm.
Put a bunch of shooters around him. Get him a playmaker. I don't think Ingram's the guy. They need something else. Um, but they need to get another playmaker around him and a bunch of shooting around
But
Zion. And and they'll be
their problem really wasn't offense. They just
no
failed
defensively
to
they
want
bad
to
too.
play
Zion's
defense.
horrible on
They
defense.
failed to want to play defense.
That's that young stuff though.
Well, who does he guard?
No one. He's horrible.
He the whole team is sitting there on defense like I'm gonna rest because I'm about to score on offense. When you have that mentality, no, you're not gonna win in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree with
Selfish
that.
team. That's really their biggest flaw. I mean, besides they're built horrible, but they are selfish.
I agree with that. Now that I agree with. I agree with they because I watched them play. You right. They're a bunch of ISO. They ISO or get a ball to Zion and let him go to work. There's not much cohesion there when I look at the Pelicans. Now, what about the Wizards though? First year, them two together, Bill Westbrook, got Scott Brooks, Westbrook's boy. He's gone. They got rid of him today as well. What you think about? I think time was up. I thought he'd been stealing money for years. But did you kind of expect um, Scott Brooks to be fired?
Scott Brooks should have been fired. He definitely underachieved. He's been underachieving for years. He's been stealing money from NBA organizations for years. You have a former MVP, Mr. Triple Double himself, and then you have Brad Beal, who, although I call him empty calories because of the stats he puts up, means nothing. He's 30. He's 30 walking in the gym. You got that young up and coming Hachimura. I like
Yep,
his
Rui
game. You got
Hachimura.
a bunch of young pieces around that. That team should be running and gunning all day. There's no way that team should have been in the play in.
Nah,
There's no
I
way.
agree. I agree with you. I agree, especially in the East. But then again, you got guys like Boston in seven. You know what I mean? It was a weird year. This year with
Hmm.
early COVID stuff going on and just the injuries. Like Jalen Brown, we didn't even mention him. That's an all star. Um, that didn't get a chance to play in the playoffs. So you know it is what it is. But Scott Brooks, he'll probably land another job somewhere. Who knows? Probably one of these organizations that don't win much. Like so I. I, I think I got the word that Luke Walton's going to return too. I think that was like a couple weeks ago, which is amazing, by the way, because that's you talk about a coach stealing money. That's terrible.
So Luke Walton, who I think the Kings have a record for most consecutive years of missed playoffs.
Yes,
How many lottery picks can they have before they change it around, do something?
I don't know. I don't know, man, because
They had a top three rookie of the Year candidate.
Yep,
They
Halliburton.
had De'Aaron Fox. They spent all that money on Harrison Barnes. They still had the center from
Yep,
Duke.
Bagley.
It's just so much team. I don't understand
I,
how he's continuously keeping his job.
I don't either. So we got my guy Henry Cotto says a lot of injuries though, with Russ and Brad missed a lot of time. So you do got to take in consideration of that. But when Brad was out, I think that's when Russ really started to go hard. Um,
But with that kind of backcourt, if one misses, the other one has the ability to step up and win some games for you. Especially in the East, you get Detroit 3 times. You have to beat Detroit all 3 times.
you're right. That's free
You
money
got
right there.
you got the Cavs. That's 3 wins. That should be 3 wins.
But hey, Cavs be playing hard though. Cavs play hard.
They hate their point guard, so you can
Yeah, they
play
hate
hard,
Colin Sexton. That's true. They
but
can't
you got to
stand him.
win. You got to win those 3 games. That's 6 games right there.
You right on that. You right on that. Yeah, we agree here, J. Cool. We believe the NBA started a little bit too early. Jawan Howard, I don't think it's looking at the NBA. I think he likes where he's at in Michigan. I may be wrong, but from last time he came out and spoke, he does not intend on leaving at all or look at any NBA jobs. He likes where he's at Michigan. That they treat him like royalty there. He's one of the Fab Five members, so you know it's kind of like match made in heaven for him. It has to be a perfect scenario for Jawan Howard to leave Michigan. All right, so I was gonna say Sixers and Hawks tied 2-2. Who's gonna win tonight? Does look like the Sixers are up right now. But how do you feel about this series? And you know what? I'm a kind of swing it somewhere else. Since the game's already on, the Sixers up. I'm gonna swing it somewhere else. I want to know, how do you feel about Ben Simmons? What would you do with him moving forward? Because I feel like, me personally, if you can't play when I need you in the final 5 minutes of a ball game, why am I paying you this money and why are you on my roster? How do you feel about that?
Ben Simmons is an athletic freak. He's a 6'10" point guard who's we've never seen anything like him. His flaw is truly mental. I don't know if he can or can't shoot. He's scared to even attempt a shot.
That's the
And
thing
if you
that
want to
gets me.
say your position is point guard, you have to be able to shoot some outside shot. I didn't say be Dame or Steph and
Right.
throw up from 40, but we need a few outside the paint shots.
Exactly.
And I
Exactly.
honestly feel he's an overrated defender. He's just athletic and long, guarding people
Feel like he
shorter than
overrated
him.
defender. Why you feel that way?
Their team is very tall. Him, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. It's really hard to score in the paint on them. So you can press up on the perimeter. So I don't. Is it so much he's a great defender? Or is it so much they have great team defense?
I think he a good defender. Is he defensive player of the year? Maybe
Like
not. But I think he a
as a
good
Laker
defender.
fan, we had 0 first team all defenders.
Yeah, that's kind of tough to. But
We
but
have
y'all had a lot of
zero,
injuries though. Missed a lot of games.
but we had the number 1 defense in the NBA. So I don't think anyone on the Lakers is great individually defensively. Kind of like the Sixers, they're a great defensive team, but individually, nah. Together,
Uh,
yes.
like I said, I think Ben's a good defender. Like you said, he's athletic as heck. Um, playmaker. Um, really is a really it should be a matchup nightmare each and every night. He steps on the court, but it's something about me not even trying to better your jump shot or even trying to shoot it. That bothers me. That bothers me in a big way because people, make fun of Giannis for not being able to shoot, but at least he tries. At least he take a couple to keep, even though their
Hmm.
defense is still sagging the paint because he got the reputation. But there's times where you see Giannis hit about two or three, and you like, okay, you know what I mean? Like he at least trying to shoot it. And with Ben, he doesn't try, and I just don't think you can win with that moving forward. I don't think you can win with that.
And then Ben affects Joel Embiid directly.
Yes.
Game five, the second half, Joel Embiid is at the top of the key. Three straight possessions, he had turnovers. And then the next three, he had missed long shots. That wouldn't have Simmons possessions because Ben Simmons refuses to shoot.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He don't shoot it at all, and I just wish he would improve his jump shot or at least try. Like I think that would be the best thing for the city. At least try, even if he shot one a game. At least try,
Mm-hmm.
to put it up there and try to make the defense somewhat honest. Because at that point you almost playing 4 on 5 at this sense. Especially when it's playoff time and the game slow down and teams are looking at you and getting all 5 guys back. The game is different. It's different, and you got to be able to function in that half court, and that's where Ben Simmons struggles. Um, Now we talked about a couple injury. Kawhi Leonard, uh, say he has a sprained knee now. Came out that it may be a torn ACL. They don't know yet. They hoping they can dodge a bullet there once they get an MRI. Uh, do the Clippers even have a chance without Kawhi Leonard, or would you consider this series over?
The series is over. Kawhi Leonard doesn't have a number two, so they're a collective unit as a number two. They paid Paul George number two, but as we know in the postseason, he does not operate as number two. So we're gonna
At all.
see a bunch of long threes tomorrow night in Utah. A bunch of long threes from Paul George. We're not gonna see the aggressive Paul George from his early Pacer days and his days at Fresno State. We're just gonna see a bunch of hoisted up threes. Um, and Ty Lue has been honestly outcoached. Quinn Snyder does not get the recognition that he deserves as a coach.
Mm-mm.
Um, I mean, he does have Donovan Mitchell, who's a very underrated player, but you look at the rest of that team, it's all for roster.
Yeah.
Um, they Jordan Clarkson was sixth man of the year, but let's be honest, every year that award could go to Lou Williams. So I don't know why this Utah honestly should have got swept. Like the series should have already been over, but because of George's shortcomings in the postseason, that kind of affected what's going on now. Kawhi had to play harder on both ends of the floor, and that may be why he sprained his knee or towards ACL.
I mean, I I never want to say a team don't have a chance, but Utah's better than advertised. They've been together for a while, and that means something. That means something, cause the Utah Jazz is kind of reminding me of a 2011 Dallas Mavericks, where
Yeah,
they're good, you respect them, they have a star, no other All Star around this star. Well, besides Gobert's an All Star.
no,
But he's more like that Tyson Chandler figure. You know what I mean? Good defender,
yeah,
rebounder, uh, can finish around the rim. Um, you know, they're really underrated, and they starting to give me that feel. Now he does make a good point here. Uh, Conley being out still gives them a slinch. Conley's huge to that team. Now I think with Conley they can win a championship. That's possible
hmm
for the Utah Jazz. Without Conley, they're out of that conversation for sure. I got my boy here. I said, ask Kurt about Kuz and Drum. How so? Cool.
Okay.
Now, now,
If we're
before,
gonna get on that topic, we can be honest. Do
yes,
we want to go there now?
let's get there. Let's get there.
Okay. So Kyle Kuzma, we can name his. We can. He's a flat out scorer. He's a 3 level scorer. I mean, that's been proven. He's done it since college. He did it in the NBA. Before LeBron got there, he had games where he had 40 plus points. But when you play with LeBron James, if you're not the second star, you are a catch and shoot person. Kyle Kuzma is not a catch and shoot basketball player. Anybody that's ever played basketball knows there's a difference between a guy who can just catch and shoot like a Kyle Korver or a person who needs the ball put in one. Every time you see LeBron, oh, you see LeBron with his hand on his head. Oh no, what's he gonna do? Well, how are you supposed to play basketball that way?
Yeah.
I don't. And then Drummond's short time with the Lakers. Guess what? They led the NBA in rebounds. I mean, these are things you. Pat Riley said it best: no rebounds, no rings, because that the kid from Akron or whatever he calls himself, King James, whatever self promotion he's given himself, because he plays a certain way and is too stubborn to change it, others are affected. I was told KCP is a great basketball player. He helped us win a bubble ring. No, he didn't.
Hey,
He's
they
just
kill
there over
it.
KCP.
Oh man.
And then
Look,
of
man.
course it's LeBron fans saying stuff about Kuzma. It's fine. They weren't Lakers fans to see what Kyle Kuzma was before LeBron got there.
Now, this is what I can agree with. Kuzma has very low IQ, by the way. Basketball IQ, that is. Uh,
What? How does he have low IQ?
Kurt, okay. I understand what you're
When he gets
saying.
the ball, he's looking to score.
I understand, but that's the
Your
problem.
star
Sometimes
player
you
and your
gotta
coach
be
have no confidence in you.
eh, that. Yeah, but you gotta get the coach a reason to have confidence in you, Kurt. Like I could say,
Frank Vogel,
like this year he hasn't given anyone confidence to believe in him. Why?
he had a career high in rebounds. This is the best year he's played defensively.
Kurt, you
I mean,
go
it's more
down
than
this Kyle
scoring. He's
Kuzma
tried to
hill.
increase his game.
You go down this Kyle
I
Kuzma.
just wish he was given a chance to actually show that he can play basketball. The boy can flat out score. He was trying to do other things, but again, Chris Bosh and Kevin Love felt the same thing. They felt the
I,
same thing. When you're that third guy with the LeBron team, you literally are just talked about.
is he watching him play? That dude is dog
I
water.
I see the comments.
No, but
Please go back to Kuzma prior to LeBron getting there.
hey, no. He did drop buckets, but they were losing, Kurt. They was getting smoked, and he was around a bunch of other young guys who, I mean, so they was just taking turns gunning. That was the young Lakers back in the day with
So
all the boys.
Bradley Bill does a bunch of scoring and loses. I mean, what's the difference?
I mean, but don't act like Bradley Beal is just Bradley Beal is on an island, dolo by himself. Now, I mean, not now, but he was. John Wall get hurt every day. I mean, so of course Bill was the only one out there. He was dropping 50 and losing. There was nothing he could do. What else he could do? Kuzma, on the other hand, he takes bad shots. He doesn't he doesn't fit. That's one thing. I give you that. He don't fit with LeBron James' system and all that. But
Mm-mm.
Kuzma, he ain't do what he needed to do. Like I wouldn't have faith in Kuzma either. They need to get
Okay,
rid of
every time you
Kuzma.
get the ball, Every time you get the ball, this is what you see from LeBron. Would you come on, man? It's hard to ball like that.
I, bro, because
I
they know he
understand
gonna do
Kevin
something
Love and Chris
pride.
Bosh. Neither one of them averaged 20.
Man,
Kevin Love and
look,
Chris Bosh never averaged 20. When they played with LeBron, they averaged about 18, but they were shamed. Chris Bosh didn't get love till he got that one rebound to save LeBron's legacy.
that possibly could be true. That rebound was it though. But let's get on Drummond too. I ain't done because you said that y'all led in rebounds, which is cool, Kurt. If this was 1986, but it's 2021. I'm not saying you need to rebound. I'm not saying neglect that. Y'all had enough rebounding, Kurt. Drummond was not what you needed. He is he was a paint clogger. The offense was horrible with him on the floor. Brutal. He doesn't finish at a high enough rate around the rim for the Lakers. I thought it was a terrible fit. I thought Drummond was a terrible fit for you guys, and I honestly thought adding Drummond made y'all a little worse.
Can you name me a center, a true center? I think he had 500 steals and 500 blocks in a season. No other center's ever done that. So this is a guy who has proven he can do it on the defensive end, proven he can rebound. He clogs the paint. Okay, well, LeBron, stop shooting so much. Stop just settling for threes. Go to the rim. Drummond will
He
get your offensive
can't. That's the
rebounds.
problem. They can't go to the rim because it's Drummond there chilling and having his
Anthony
big
Davis
man
is
and
Anthony
having
Davis
his man
shooting
in help.
Anthony Davis shooting what 7 threes a game.
Cause
It's
there's no
coaching. They
space.
had no chemistry.
No chemistry and no space, Kurt. That's why them two was shooting more jumpers than what you like,
There's no
bro. It's cause Drummond was there.
if
That's why.
if the Lakers had a if the Lakers had a true point guard who could have the ball and play make, run pick and roll with Drummond. That's an easy 16 points a game right there.
Look, but
Simple 16 from Drummond.
why would you want to clog the paint up for LeBron James or Anthony Davis? For Drummond? That's why they was saying, uh,
Anthony Anthony
go ahead.
Anthony Davis is a 3-point shooter now because again he's playing with LeBron. And then
Man.
Mark Gasol, he plays 1.2 minutes a game. He's tired, holding his back. He's 97 years old.
But at least
He was
Marcus Gasol
useless.
can hit a couple threes to get that spacing together.
Trez was doing well, but
I,
again,
yeah,
coaching.
I don't know
Frank
what that
Vogel's
was.
inconsistencies in his minutes.
Now, I don't know why Trez wasn't playing. I don't know if he fell in the doghouse. I don't know if he said something. Uh, but something happened there where
He probably said he didn't like LeBron control the team.
I mean, Drum in the way that was Frank's fault. Drum should have came off the bench. I agree. Well, yeah, I agree with that. They should have kept Gasol in there and started about played about 25 minutes and let Drum eat up the rest. I just Gasol or even 20 minutes. I just feel like Gasol was a better fit, even though he wasn't the greatest because he was horrible in pick and roll um, on defense. Um, but far as on offense, y'all couldn't score. It was to a point where y'all got down the stretch, y'all couldn't score. Uh, we got here said Frank can't
We
coach,
got the number one defense. We got the number one defense in the NBA. I'm not
but where did that
worried
get
that
y'all, Kurt?
we. Where did it get us? It got us LeBron pounding the ball for 20 seconds and then kicking it out to somebody who can't shoot a three to shoot a three. It's the same offense. It's the same. He goes through the same 4-year cycle every year. Notice how it's a bunch of Lakers on 1-year deals.
Yeah.
They're about to leave. He's going to retool. And I really agree with this point. THT was our best player off the bench. Why was he getting less minutes than Alex Caruso? What does Caruso do? What does he do?
I'm not a Caruso guy
Nothing.
either, man. I don't get the hype. What's the hype with Caruso out there in LA?
He's LeBron's guy. He's
Mm,
LeBron's guy. They can't tell you what he does well. He's just LeBron's guy.
that makes sense. That makes sense. Let's see. He said no AD should have been at the
I'm
center,
looking at
Morris
a
at the
Lakers
four.
team.
I say this about
AD
that
came out and said
comment.
he doesn't want to play center.
He don't exactly. He came out, cried, basically complained about not wanting to play the five. So you're not gonna put him at the five. Um, but that is the lineup that they should go with. But when your star say he ain't playing a certain position, he ain't playing a position. Uh,
You had Alfonso McKinney, you had Ben McLemore, and you had Baby Greek. You should have used these young guys in the regular season, prevent injuries. You didn't. You chose not to. That's on coaching. That's on LeBron not wanting to play with young guys.
that's a huge
How
issue
many
too.
35 pluses play with? Stop playing with these old veterans.
I agree with that. And we just talked about this a little bit earlier. What's so crazy? They had the number one defense, but no all team defensive players. I said that's true. I just feel like
It's
it
length.
was hit it was hit or miss as far
It's
as
length.
injury and the amount of games played. That's how I feel about it.
That was length because we didn't guard any guard in the league. Everyone just shot threes over Dennis Schroeder. It was embarrassing. Blew past and shot a three. It's just you got LeBron at 6'10, AD at 6'11, Drummond at 7 feet. I'm not going in the paint. Just gonna cross Schroeder on the perimeter and shoot in his face.
Said AD needs to finish the season. I definitely agree with that. He do need to finish the season. He said Frank was tripping all season. Yeah, so it looks like Frank Vogel. It sounds like Frank Vogel gonna come into the season next season with a real short leash, and Jason Kidd is waiting in the wings. He turned down
Should
Portland,
should be
so
our head coach.
so I know
He
with
should be our
him
head coach.
with him turning down Portland, something is on the way, and Frank Vogel got a very, very, very short leash. I feel like that's coming, and if they start off anything remotely slow, and it could be something like 8-5, Vogel's out of there, and Jason Kidd gonna take the ring. Because it just shocked me that he had turned down Portland and an opportunity to coach someone like Dame Lillard, who he mentored. They from the same
That
area out there in Oakland.
that doesn't
That,
shock me.
that
Jason Kidd wants a leader and someone who can play winning basketball. Dame Lillard's not that. Dame Lillard's a great highlight guy. He sports in our top 10 every week, but all
Man,
those
look,
40-foot
why
threes,
why do you
where's that guy at?
disrespect Dame like he ain't out here doing his thing, man? He do. I mean, how many outside of CP3, outside of Jason Kidd, who where your point guard is clearly your best player, or maybe Steph Curry, who is leading their team to the finals like that, or even the Western or the conference finals like that as a point guard?
Now I understand that point. The thing is with Dame's shot selection. Again, you shooting from 40 does what? It does nothing. Let's really be honest. It's embarrassing that Dame Lillard lost to the Nuggets without Jamal Murray. It's embarrassing. No one's going to say it, but it's absolutely embarrassing. He lost to Monte Morris and Austin Rivers.
So we not gonna act like CJ was a no-show. Your boy, who you kept telling me, Christian James McCullum, was that guy. He was not there for majority of that series. Stepped on the out of bounds line, all that. So
Mr. Mr. Podcast didn't play well. I can honestly admit McCullum did not play well. He did his podcast better than he played in the playoffs this year. But Dame has help. Dame can use his help.
right, and so and we not going to include Jokic, like he said, in the MVP of the league. Like Jokic wasn't going to act like dropping like 30, 10, and 10. He just got finished dropping 30, 20, and 10.
Let me ask y'all a question, and this is for all the viewers as well. Back in the day, if Bill Cartwright would have brought the ball up on a Michael Jordan team, would we be okay with that?
So now we're comparing Jokic to Bill
No, we
Cartwright.
wouldn't.
Jokic is skilled. Why, if you can dribble like a
Play
guard?
center.
Why
If you're
not?
going to be a center, that's no one's defending him. He gets
That's
pickpocketed
beautiful.
all the time.
That is beautiful. If
He
I
gets pickpocketed.
if my center can bring it up the court, knowing 80% of the centers can't guard the perimeter, and he can take it off the bounce and create for others, that's crazy. Why would I want that? It ain't like Jokic don't go into the paint.
Let me give you a stat for all those people out there, which you have to dig deep to find. The two players with the most airball threes this season, Jokic and Luka Doncic. Y'all love them both. I mean, can we? Why is my 7 foot MVP center airballing threes versus Phoenix? I don't
Okay.
understand that.
He
What are we
made
doing here?
okay, he missed a shot. Who cares if you airball a brick? A miss is a miss. It's one miss. I don't care if you airball.
Listen, I don't need a point center. We've gone too far. Point forward, fine. A point center, we have to draw the line
But
somewhere.
it's not like he's not doing work in the post though, Kurt. I understand if you say, hey, all he does is shoot. Like if he's like Porzingis, you know he doing work in the post too. You know that. So for me,
Good and
it's not
well.
an issue.
I don't need him bringing the ball up court.
Why not? If
Catch
he
it on the
giving you
perimeter.
10
You can catch it on.
assists,
Why are you bringing the ball up court?
he a playmaker. Why can't he? Why can't he?
He did well in the bubble because of Jamal Murray. You have Jamal Murray. This year he didn't.
Right.
Okay. The end of this year you didn't have Jamal Murray, but you still did. Did anyone see the growth of Michael Porter Jr.?
Michael Porter is a dog.
You let him bring the ball up.
No. Why?
He can bring the ball.
He's a
Can he
catch and
bring the ball up?
shooter. He can put it on the floor, but he a 1-2 dribble guy. He gonna rise up. So Michael Porter Jr.
Get
ain't
down. Get down the court.
man. Kurt,
Just get down
you
the
are
court.
old school
You can get the. You don't have to run the offense.
basketball mentality. You got
That's
old
true.
school basketball
I don't need
mentality.
my
That's what
point
it is.
center bringing the ball up court.
Man, look, it don't.
I don't need Bill Cartwright running the triangle offense. I don't need that.
Why are you keep saying Bill Cartwright like Jokic is Bill Cartwright? Stop this. Stop it. I'm not letting you do this. Cartwright is not.
Okay,
Stop saying
Arvidas
Cartwright
Sabonis.
and Jokic sentence. Stop in the same sentence. Stop.
Okay, Arvidas Sabonis.
Okay. All right.
You
Okay.
know another skilled big man?
That's fair.
Joakim Noah. He could pass, but I didn't see him dribbling the ball up court. You don't
Now,
need that.
Joe Kim. Really, Joe
He
Kim.
could pass.
So now we compare Joe Kim to look, okay.
Good passer. Bill Walton. These are all guys who could pass. I don't need them bringing the ball up court.
Why
Nope.
if my guy is 6'11", and can bring it up like a guard. And I got another 6'11" guy from me who can't move. Why can't he bring it up the court and play make for others? It,
You can play make from others in the half court. I don't need this big, slow 7-footer trying to run fast breaks for my team. It's counterproductive.
man,
What kind of fast
that
break can
creates
you
a
run with a slow guy?
mismatch, Kurt. If a center
Well,
can't
he
go on
can
the
mismatch
perimeter
his
and I
way
can
in
attack
Serbia.
him, oh man, oh. Anyway, before we gotta end this topic, cause we'll be stuck all day. Cause we'll be stuck all day right here on this topic. So we're gonna move on. Cause we was talking about we was discussing the Lakers. Uh, what do you feel, Kurt, that the Lakers need to get back to the NBA Finals?
Rest one. I mean,
Get him.
honestly,
And hold on, real quick. He
rest.
praises Kuz and disrespects Joker. What's wrong with you?
One has a ring, one doesn't. So we'll stop there. But what
Oh
the
my.
Lakers need, rest, and they need
Rest?
youth. I mean, again, I, Wesley Matthews, what he's 35 with a blown Achilles. Why is he playing meaningful minutes? That's not a good look. I like the Lakers core, but at some point, Rob Pelinka got to say, listen, GM James, you are not the GM of this team. I am, and we're gonna get some young pieces. I would love to see a move to get Evan Fournier. I would love to see Evan Fournier on the late in the
Evan
Lakers
Fournier?
uniform.
That's
And
not a
no, I
bad
never said
move.
Kuzma was the reason we won the ring. Like I would love like just someone who can shoot with a decent career left ahead of them. Like stop signing these old veterans to 1 year deals because we've seen the story before. He did it with the Cavs. They completely bottomed out. He did it with the Heat, completely bottomed out. He's trying to do it with my Lakers. We're not allowing it to happen. The same thing over and over with LeBron. So at some point, you have to play with youth. He's 36. He's 36 years old.
Uh,
You
I
can't play every game.
if you the Lakers, you gotta try to go big or go home. I don't know how you do
For
it.
what?
I don't know, huh? You gotta
For
go
what?
get. You gotta go get Dame.
What do we have to give up?
I don't know.
Why do
Find
we
a
have to get
way.
Dame?
Get a three. Get an
Do we
extra
have to get
team
Dame?
involved. Figure it. Y'all
Ben
need
McLemore said it, and
Ben McLemore.
prior to AD getting injured, who would you have said was coming out the West?
Fair. That's
The
fair.
Lakers. So what do
The
we need to? What do we need to get Dame? What do we need to get Kim before? We don't need all that. You especially don't need all that with LeBron. He's still gonna want to be the primary ball handler. So getting Dame is counterproductive.
Man, he'll give some of that up to Dame. Like you said, he 36. He said he'll never be 100
We've heard that
again.
before. We've heard that before. He'll give it up. We haven't seen it.
Queez, this is definitely
We've
not
already
happening.
heard. No, we don't want Luka in LA. We don't. We're cool. We got a good roster. We got a solid core.
Okay. Now,
Just get healthy.
for me, I was gonna say what LA need, but I'm not a bit. I'm not an LA fan. I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, and I feel like we need another playmaker. I feel like we need another person that could create their own shot. Um, Once Luca went out of
Yes.
basketball games, it just got ugly. You know what I mean? As far as the plus minus with him off the court, it was really bad. Josh Richardson gave us absolutely nothing in that trade. I understand we was trying to get a little bit more defense, but He gave us absolutely nothing on both ends of the floor. Um, but I feel like we need, like I said, somebody else that can create their own shot, someone that can get a bucket. Um, and I think we can score enough. I think Rick Carlisle enough is creative enough on defense to where we can figure it out. I don't think defense was a huge issue against the Clippers. It was more of us being able to produce buckets outside of Luka Doncic either setting someone up or scoring on his own. So we definitely need someone that could get a bucket, and give Luka a breather. So it's too many minutes played for Luca.
You two things about Dallas. Two things about Dallas. At some point, we got to talk about Rick Carlisle hasn't had no playoff success since winning the championship. At
I
some point, we got to bring that up.
I do
And
agree with that.
the perfect player for Dallas to get, pending injury, and the trade is actually very possible. Spencer Dinwiddie. He can set himself up. He can play make. He can score.
That's
He can
interesting.
score. He can get you 20 a game.
That's interesting. I don't want nobody coming off
He
injury though, but that's very
that
interesting.
yeah,
Like
that's
because that's somebody realistically that we could get with the pieces that we had. So um definitely excited. It looks like the 76ers are dominating this game. Looks like if they close it out. Sometimes they have issues closing games out, the 76ers, but it looks like they will take care of business as they up 62 to 40 at halftime. And I know everybody's gonna watch the Clippers and Jazz next, see how playoff pandemic pitiful P play tonight. We don't know which P we gonna get. Might get one of the three, but we gonna get one of those personalities. That's for sure. So all right, so
Luke
that's
Kennard needs to play big minutes tonight.
Luke Kennard. He's definitely gonna
Luke
play
Kennard
big
needs
minutes
big
without
minutes
Kawhi.
tonight.
I think, hey, I think your Kuzma love, man, got people upset here, man. They what
What
Steven said we want Tory. But nah, this is a good question too. When's CP3 gonna catch a break? I think he's fine. I think it was a
never.
false positive, to be quite honest with you. If he's vaccinated, I mean, shouldn't be an issue.
I'm not a CP3 fan whatsoever. I've coined him CP0, but I'm impressed with how he's played this postseason. I'm very impressed. You can only imagine what he would have done had David Stern not said basketball reasons back in the day.
Yeah, I mean,
Him,
but
if
that's
he's
how
doing
it
this with
was.
Devin
The
Booker,
league
imagine what
shot
he
it
could have did with
down.
Kobe.
The league voted it down. So you really can't blame David Stern because once the league owns a team, everybody else has to vote a trade to go through. And obviously they looked at that like, heck no, we not letting that go through. But they paid y'all back because y'all got Pal Gasol for absolutely nothing.
Mm.
A-
Pau Gasol's a
Nothing.
reason Dallas swept us. So we got
Yeah.
swept because of Pau Gasol by Dallas. So
It was his fault.
sensitive thing there.
Oh man, that's it. That's
I
it.
mean, if you can go back and watch the series,
I mean, Dirk was
go
demolishing
back and watch the
everybody.
series. Yes, he was.
Dirk, uh,
But I'm not. Can you give us 15 points? That's all we asked for. 15. Dirk dropping 40 on you. Can you at least give 15? Guess not.
but I mean, what nobody else doing nothing. Bynum wasn't doing nothing. I mean, Kobe was doing Kobe, I guess, but he wasn't like blasting off. We just dominated. It was our time to get one.
It was your time. That's very true.
So it was our time to get one. But that's it, y'all. That's it. Time out with Coach Cam. We'll be back, man. We'll be back next week. I'll definitely let y'all know what day. But I appreciate you, Coach Kerr, for joining me. You might have some hate mail coming soon, man, with all this Kuzma love, man.
I want to thank you for having me, and everybody who hates Kuzma. All I gotta say is you're a LeBron fan. In 3 years, you won't even be watching the NBA, so it won't affect me none.
All
So
right, yeah. Hey, you gonna ride or
appreciate
die
that.
with Kuzma. He gonna ride or die with Kuzma. But hey,
Go
man.
show.
Hey, that's a Lakers fan. You know, I'm a Mavericks fan. Go Mavs. MFFL, Mavs fan for life. We out.